The new images coming in, the total devastation, the death toll growing tonight. Apocalyptic scenes, cars floating, families trying to get out of their homes, filling with water, with their dogs in chest-high water. Thousands of homes destroyed tonight, and our team is there. The new concerns here in the U.S., the new track out tonight, the hurricane growing in size, and now parts of the track bringing it closer to the coast than before. We'll tell you where. As the outer bands now slam the Florida coast, more than 1 million people under evacuations up through the Carolinas, and now hospital evacuations to prepare as well. Ginger timing it out tonight. What happened inside that boat engulfed in flames in the middle of the night? 34 passengers presumed dead, trapped below deck. Authorities now say the stairs and the emergency hatch blocked by the fire. After yet another deadly mass shooting in America tonight, the major decision by Walmart. They will stop selling ammunition for handguns and bullets that can be used in assault weapons. The NRA tonight calling it shameful. Two major rescues, the truck driver pulled alive from a burning tanker veering off a 40-foot overpass. And the bus crash, firefighters pulling school children out through the windows. And Olympic star Simone Biles tonight breaking her silence on her brother, who is now charged in 3 murders. What she's now saying.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening. It is great to have you with us here on a Tuesday night. Millions of Americans back to work after Labor Day, but for millions of others, they are holding out hope tonight that this hurricane stays on the current track, hugging the coastline as it moves north. Now dangerously close to Florida tonight, unclear if it will make landfall at some point later in the week. What we do know tonight, the damage in the Bahamas. Authorities are calling it historic and unprecedented. Take a look. New images this evening of the hurricane as it sat over the Bahamas for nearly 48 hours straight. A Category 5 hurricane there. This family with their dogs trying to escape floodwaters chest high. And for the first time tonight, the staggering damage. Homes, cars, everything as far as you can see destroyed. And take a look at this image of Grand Bahama Island before the storm and then after Dorian. Much of the island underwater. Tonight, tropical force winds are battering the coast of Florida, waves whipping up on Juno Beach there as this slow mover now inches closer. And take a look at the storm track at this hour, the threat all the way up through North Carolina, closer than earlier tracks had it. We timed this out tonight, and ABC's Marcus Moore from the Bahamas, the scene of unimaginable destruction tonight.
Tonight, total devastation. The first images from above the Bahamas revealing the scope of the destruction and an emerging humanitarian disaster. Homes splintered, the trees stripped, and water everywhere. Hurricane Dorian finally moving on after stalling, spinning over these islands for more than 48 hours. Winds gusting to 220 miles an hour.
The devastation here is breathtaking. You can see that building behind me. It has collapsed, and look at this yacht on the ground resting up against this condo.
As the eye moves over Marsh Harbor and the winds calm, we heard screams and found 4 people surrounded by storm surge.
Swim! Swim! Keep going! Swim!
Our producer urging them to swim for their lives before the storm's howling winds pick up again, soon reaching safety of higher ground and rushing to shelter. The scenes playing out on multiple islands.
I'm coming!
In Freeport, a man, his daughter, and son braving the treacherous storm surge, fleeing their home while carrying their dogs through chest-deep water. That storm surge crashing against the glass on the 2nd floor of this building. Water racing in from the stairs to the floor below. The U.S. Coast Guard airlifting the injured and those with medical conditions to the capital, Nassau.
You can see a United States Coast Guard helicopter behind me. Another military aircraft helicopter. They've been running patients in and out. They've been rescuing from the Abacos.
Government officials saying there are areas first responders still cannot reach, and more than 60,000 will need food and clean water.
The islands, it is a dire situation. People are in desperate need of food and water, and they are hoping that that aid will come in sooner rather than later. David?
We hope so too. Marcus Moore in Nassau, Bahamas tonight. He has been there since before Dorian hit. Marcus, our thanks to you. And at this hour, Hurricane Dorian is now accelerating toward the U.S. coast, on track to ride the coastline from Florida up through the Carolinas. And the newest track has it actually coming closer to the U.S. than the earlier track. So let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Ginger Zee. She's live in Jupiter Beach, Florida tonight. And Ginger, those punishing winds now reaching out further from the eye of the storm?
175 miles from the center of the storm. That's where we're feeling, David, those tropical storm force winds. We've had gusts around here to 60 miles per hour, but we are so grateful that that angry sea behind us is angry because it is taking the brunt of Dorian right now. So let's go ahead and look at the track. That thing's still looking like it's going to move northwest and eventually north. What becomes a problem is the coast of the United States juts out. So South Carolina and North Carolina will get far too close for comfort, if not a landfall by Friday morning in the Outer Banks. So let's go ahead and talk about timing. I think here we're going to see the most gusty winds yet tonight into the Treasure Coast. Daytona will take the brunt of it by tomorrow morning, seeing gusts somewhere around 50. And then watch as this thing by Wednesday night kind of settles in and edges into the corner there by Savannah, where the waves and the water is going to be piling up. Charleston on Thursday morning, you are going to be battered. 73 mile per hour gusts possible there. Getting windy in Myrtle Beach and Wilmington. And watch this too. By Friday morning, Outer Banks to Norfolk, Virginia, going to be feeling this. We'll finally get rid of it on Friday night. And don't forget, 4 to 7 feet of surge possible right there in South and North Carolina, David.
Ginger Zee tracking it with us here again tonight. Thank you, Ginger. And as Ginger pointed out there, the danger now up through Florida and into the Carolinas. In fact, evacuation orders for more than 2 million people. We were at a hospital evacuating patients today. In Wrightsville Beach, homeowners and businesses boarding up ahead of the storm. The risks of staying behind seen right here. That wave crashing into a man in Palm Beach Shores, Florida. He was okay. ABC's Steve Osunsami is in the Charleston, South Carolina area tonight where those evacuations are underway. A very long week ahead there.
At Vibra Hospital in Charleston, they're racing to beat the storm, trying to move as many patients as they can to higher ground before Hurricane Dorian arrives. This patient is on his way in an ambulance tonight to a VA hospital 2 hours away.
We have 10 patients that are confirmed to leave today, and there will be others today.
Not everyone is healthy enough to be moved. David Eason is fighting a serious blood infection and will ride out the storm in his hospital bed.
They tell you to pack up and go if you can. My situation, I can't.
They call this the low country for a reason. Flood-prone areas in the Carolinas and Georgia could be fighting several feet of storm surge by tomorrow night.
If you live in a residence that flooded over the last 4 years, you should evacuate your residence and move to higher ground.
In Savannah, families with little children and little means had to wait in the heat and long lines for a bus ride to safety.
Not everybody can pick up and leave, and I'm one of those people. I don't have a vehicle and I don't have the finance to, to go out of town and rent a motel or anything like that.
Even to the south, where the waves are strong enough to knock you off your feet, they're watching for possible flooding. Authorities are trying to get the message out that as families leave for days, police will be watching their homes. Already, they've arrested this man accused of breaking into condos.
All right, Steve Osunsami with us. He's in the Charleston area outside that hospital tonight. And Steve, you were telling us they're trying to get all of their evacuations done by tomorrow?
Yes, David, the CEO of the hospital explains that he wants all of his people off the road and done moving patients by the time the first tropical storm force winds reach Charleston. Another thing, authorities are warning residents who choose to stay off the roads. They point out during last year's hurricane, they had to rescue more than 40 people from flooded vehicles, and they'd rather not do that again.
All right.
David?
Calm and dry there, but not for long, Steve. Thank you. In the meantime, we move on now to new developments in that horrific fire on a dive boat in California. At least 20 people now confirmed dead. And new images coming in late today of the boat burning in the middle of the night with nearly 36 people sleeping below deck. The boat sinking to the ocean floor. Divers now searching for the remains of passengers still missing. And tonight we're learning more about who was on board, including 5 members of the same family. And word that the emergency hatch and the stairs where passengers were sleeping were blocked by the fire. ABC's Will Carr is in Santa Barbara tonight.
Tonight, families' worst fears confirmed. All 34 people trapped in that burning dive boat are now presumed dead. This new Coast Guard video shows the smoldering ship as it sinks.
As of 9:40 a.m. this morning, Coast Guard has suspended search efforts pending further development. It is never an easy decision to suspend search efforts.
The desperate search has now turned into a grim recovery operation, with dive teams combing the wreckage sitting on the bottom of the Pacific Ocean.
Today, efforts will be made to stabilize the boat so that divers can safely enter it, search it, and recover additional victims.
The 75-foot boat caught fire early Labor Day morning. 5 crew members jumped off and were rescued. I can't breathe. The passengers were asleep when the fire broke out and quickly became trapped by flames below deck.
There was a stairwell to get down the main entryway up and down, and there was an escape hatch, and it would appear as though both of those were blocked by fire.
While those escape routes were open, authorities don't believe the victims had a chance. In a gut-wrenching social media post, mother Susana Solano Rosas says, "It is with a broken heart. 3 of our daughters are on this boat. As of now, they are still missing." Another woman says her sister was the lone crew member who did not survive.
She was my role model, my big sister. She was everything to me, and she's just gone now.
One of those things that just doesn't make sense.
It makes no sense. It's not fair. It's not fair at all.
As of tonight, at least 20 bodies have been pulled from the water, but the emotional toll is far from over.
With passengers still missing, what is your message to their loved ones tonight?
This is a very difficult time for them, and my condolences and my thoughts are with them and their families.
A powerful reminder, this is difficult on first responders as well. Will Carr joins us from the marina where the boat departed. And Will, of course, the question that remains tonight, what caused this fire? And authorities are now interviewing the crew.
That's right, David. Tonight, the big question is why. Authorities want to know exactly what ignited that fire and what the crew was doing when those first flames broke out. It comes as they're working to identify all the victims. David.
Will Carr again tonight. Thank you. We reported on yet another deadly mass shooting over the Labor Day weekend in Texas. And tonight, the major move now by Walmart, the nation's largest retailer, tonight announcing it will no longer sell ammunition for handguns and assault rifles, and it will ask customers now not to openly carry firearms into its stores. All of this comes 1 month to the day after a gunman killed 22 people at a Walmart in El Paso. ABC's chief national correspondent Matt Gutman from Texas tonight.
Tonight, following a month of mass shootings, the stunning announcement from Walmart's CEO to employees to, quote, make the country safer by ending sales of all handgun ammunition and ammunition used in assault-style rifles. The retail Goliath sells 1 in every 5 bullets in the U.S., the NRA tonight calling the move shameful, but others applauding it.
I think they've been looking at additional solutions, and I think the steps they're taking really show the need for corporate America to step up and make a difference.
Walmart, which stopped selling military-style weapons in 2015, saying it will cease all handgun sales in Alaska, the last place in America it sold them. The chain says it will still carry hunting rifles and shotguns, but the retailer is also asking people in open carry states not to openly carry guns into stores following the mass shootings in El Paso, Dayton, and just this weekend in Odessa, Texas.
It's okay. We're gonna be okay.
The gunman in that rampage, who murdered 7 and wounded 25, was federally prohibited from possessing a weapon due to mental illness. But ABC News has learned exclusively he evaded that ban by purchasing his AR-style rifle in a private sale.
All right, so let's get to Matt Gutman with us live again tonight. He's in Odessa, Texas. And Matt, you reported there the gunman failed a background check before, but he did get through this through a private sale, as you just mentioned, and there's no background check required in that private sale.
That's right, David. Background checks are not mandatory in private sales, nor are sellers required to ask of buyers anything about their mental health or criminal history. Now, a bill in the House that would have closed that loophole with background checks passed the House, but it has been sitting on Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell's desk since February. David.
All right, Matt Gutman live in Texas. Matt, thank you. I want to bring in ABC's chief White House correspondent Jonathan Karl tonight because, John, as you heard Matt mention there, Republican Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, he was asked about that bill calling for enhanced background checks that sits on his desk. He says he's waiting on direction from President Trump. Let's listen.
If the president took a position on a bill so that we knew we would actually be making a law and not just having serial votes, I'd be happy to put it on the floor.
So, John, Senator McConnell, it appears that he expects an answer from the White House next week. So what are your sources telling you about where the president stands on this enhanced background check?
Well, David, I am told that the White House is working on a proposal. It is unclear, though, what will be in it. The president has talked about addressing the mental health issue. He has talked about imposing the death penalty in cases of hate crimes and mass shootings. But he has gone back and forth on whether or not he wants to see expanded background checks. I am told by one senior official tonight that the bottom line is the president